Hello again, everyone. Today, I'd like to dive into my thoughts on Minthara and Orin the Red. Specifically, if they were perhaps romantically involved, based on some clues easily missed in game. Let's get started, shall we? Shortly after defeating Ketheric, if you have chosen to ally with Minthara, she will reveal her past with Orin to Tav or Dirge. Here is what she has to say.
During my time in the cult, I came to know one of his co-conspirators all too well. Baal's bloodletter, Orin. To think, I thought her to be speaking for the Absolute. I worshipped that woman. Jealous? You needn't be. When Orin is in my hands, her agony will nourish me. She is the Iblis who indoctrinated me with the Absolute's lies.
So, not only does she admit that she got all too familiar with Orin, even worshipping her, she also does not deny Orin being an old flame when prompted. She simply asks Tav or Dirge if they are jealous, reassuring them they needn't be. Minthara explains her memory of being indoctrinated into the cult of the Absolute, stating that Orin was by her side, reassuring her that she was to be blessed and adored. She recounts her realization that those memories were false, and that the truth of it was far uglier, with Orin looking on, laughing, as a mind flayer forced a parasite into Minthara's unwilling brain.
When I first visited Moonrise, I stood before the Absolute in awe. It was more of an idea than an entity. Pure love, total power. Orin was by my side. She told me that God had chosen me to be a true soul, blessed and adored. Now I know that those memories are lies. There was no God. Orin held me down in a cocoon of flesh, while a mind flayer forced a parasite into my brain. And she laughed at my fear. I will find her. I will murder her. And I will smile.
Minthara's pain is tangible here. I feel that behind her outward calls for revenge against Orin, she is deeply wounded from having her heart broken as well. However, she later contradicts this recounting.
Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table, Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. I want this one, she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed, some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself.
So, looking at you for this one, Larian. Of course, the true nature of their relationship is never stated outright in game, so I could be reading into it a little too much, but I can't help but to feel there was something decidedly one-sided there for Minthara, who was being manipulated for loyalty. And I could see Orin, as abhorrent and unhinged as she is, using Minthara for her own gratification. She unfortunately doesn't offer up any further details on this subject when confronting Orin. She only expresses that she is afraid if you succeed a role, and celebrates upon Orin's demise. It seems we shall never know definitively. And that's all I have for this time, folks. A short one in truth, but one I've been wanting to make for a while now. I'd love to hear what you all think on this subject. As always, thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.